In the previous lectures, we studied about all the connectives which are there in our syllabus. Now we are in a position to solve questions on all those 5 types of connectives. So the first question is express following statements in symbolic form and give their truth value. So we have to write these statements in symbolic form and then we have to find their truth value. First question is 3 plus 5 is greater than 7 if and only if 4 plus 6 is less than 10. So this is a simple question because we can see that these both statements are combined using this phrase if and only if. So this is a double implication. So first let us write both the statements separately. Let P denote 3 plus 5 is greater than 7 and let Q denote 4 plus 6 is less than 10. So the symbolic form will be P implies Q and Q implies P. That is a double implication. Now we know that statement P is true because 3 plus 5 is 8 and 8 is greater than 7. So this is true. And statement Q is false because 4 plus 6 is 10 and 10 is not less than 10. If they would have given less than or equal to 10, then statement Q would have been true. But now this is a false statement. So P implies Q and Q implies P will be T implies F and F implies T. Now we know that double implication is true only when both the statements have same truth value. But here both the statements have different truth value. Therefore this double implication will be false. So truth value of the statement is false. Second question is, if 24 is not divisible by 6, then it is divisible by 3. Now this is also a simple question because you can see that both the statements are combined using this phrase, if, then. Now you can solve this question in two ways. First way, in which you have two statements. First statement is 24 is not divisible by 6 and second, it is divisible by 3. And then you are combining them using this phrase if or the, if and then. This is also one way, and the other way is you have two statements. First statement is 24 is divisible by 6. Second is it is divisible by 3. And then you are producing negation of this first statement because you have this word not in your statement. So you can produce negation of the positive statement 24 is divisible by 6 and then you are joining them using this phrase if then. So I will solve it using in the second way. You can solve it in the first way also, but it will be better if you will solve it in second way. You will get full marks if you will solve it in the first way. So let the first statement be 24 is divisible by 6. Second statement is 24 is divisible by 3. So the symbolic form will be so we have to produce negation of statement P, which is 24 is not divisible by 6. So here negation of P and then implication. Negation P implies Q. This is the symbolic form of the statement. Now statement P is true because 24 is divisible by 6 and statement Q is also true because 24 is divisible by 3. So negation of P implies Q will be negation of T implies T. So this will be F implies T. Now we have seen in the previous lecture that implication has only one exceptional case, that is implication will be false only if the first statement is true and second statement is false. And in all other cases that implication will be true. So here we don't have that exceptional case because we have the first statement is false and the second statement as true. So therefore this implication will be true. So truth value of this statement is true. Next question is, a triangle is equilateral provided all its angles are 60 degrees. Now, you can see that this statement is not in the form which we had learned earlier because two statements are combined using this word provided. So we have to decide that which form of statement is this. So first let us write both the statements separately. Let P denote that a triangle is equilateral. And statement Q, it denote all angles of triangle are 60 degree. So these are the two statements. Now you can write this statement in another form by replacing this word provided with the word if. The statement will be a triangle is equilateral if all its angles are 60 degrees. The meaning remains the same. Now you have this word if in between. So now you can again rewrite the statement. If all angles of a triangle are 60 degree, then it is an equilateral triangle. Then also the meaning remains the same. So now we are in a conclusion that we can write this statement finally in this form. If all angles of a triangle are 60 degrees, then it is an equilateral triangle. This is your actual statement. So now this is a case of implication because two statements are combined using the phrase if then. So this is an implication. So therefore the symbolic form will be Q implies P. Why? Because the first statement here is all angles of a triangle are 60 degree and this statement you have denoted using Q. And the second statement is it is an equilateral triangle and this statement you have denoted using this P. Therefore, Q implies P. So now you can note one thing, that the second statement in the question becomes the first statement in this form. So this is also this statement, the triangle is equilateral provided all its angles are 60 degree. This is also a form of implication only, but here the second statement which occurs in the question becomes the first statement in your answer and the first statement becomes the second statement. This is also a type of implication. Another type of implication can be two statements combined using the word implies. That is also very simple. That is also very simple to denote or to identify because you know that we read implication statement like Q implies P. So when two statements are combined using the word implies, that is also a case of implication. Now, truth value of the statement is true because this is a mathematical identity. All of us know that when all the angles of a triangle are 60 degree, then it is an equilateral triangle. So this is a mathematical identity and mathematical identities are always true statements in logic. This we have seen in our first lecture. So therefore, Q implies P will be true since it is a mathematical identity. Next question is, write converse, inverse and contrapositive of the following. So we have to write these three types of statements for the given statement. The statement is, if surface area decreases, then pressure increases. So first let us separate the two statements. Let P denote surface area decreases and let Q denote pressure increases. So these are the two statements. Now, converse, we have seen in the previous lecture that converse is Q implies P. We change the order of the statements. So therefore, the converse in the verbal form will be, if pressure increases, then surface area decreases. Then second will be inverse. So inverse is negation of P implies negation of Q. We produce negation of the two statements without changing their sequence. So in the verbal form it will be, if surface area does not decreases, then pressure does not increases. Because we know that negation of statement P will be surface area does not decreases and negation of Q will be pressure does not increases. Therefore, the inverse will be, if surface area does not decreases, then pressure does not increases. Third type of statement is contrapositive. And contrapositive is negation of Q implies negation of P. We produce the negation also and then we interchange the sequence also, the order also. So contrapositive, we have also seen that it is simply the converse of inverse. We have to do converse of this statement, inverse statement. So if pressure does not increases, then surface area does not decreases. This is the contrapositive of the statement. Next question is, given that statements P is true, Q is true, R is false and S is false, find truth value of the following. So we have to find truth value of these two complex statements using truth values of these four statements. First question is P or S, double implication, Q and R. So here we are just going to put the truth values of these four statements in their respective positions. So the first one will be, now P is true, S is false, Q is true and R is false. So we will write them T or F, double implication, T and F. Now we know that T or F is T, double implication, T and F will be F. Now double implication is true only when both the truth values are same, but here both are different. So therefore this will be T double implication F will be false. So finally truth value of this complex statement is false. Next question is negation of P and negation R or negation Q or S. Here also we are going to put the truth values of the statements in their respective positions. So this will be negation of T and negation F or negation of T or F. So this will be negation of T and T because negation of F is T, or F or F. Negation of T is F. Now we know that T and T is T or F is F. So this will be F or F, and we know that F or F is finally F. So truth value of this complex statement is false. Next question is statement P, which states that it is daytime. Statement Q, which states that it is warm. Write the following in verbal form. So using these two statements, we have to write the following questions in verbal form, that is in the form of a sentence. First question is P and negation Q. So first let us write the statement negation Q. Q is it is warm, so negation of Q will be it is not warm. And then P and negation Q will be Simply you have to join these two statements using the word and. So P and negation Q will be it is daytime and it is not warm. Second question is Q double implication P. So since we have a double implication here, therefore we have to use the phrase if and only if in our statement. And also this statement Q will come first because it is the first statement here. So therefore Q implies P and P implies Q will be it is warm if and only if it is daytime.